Okay, let's talk about what that is, how to practice it, and when to use it. This is the right hand pattern. You're gonna slap, up slap, pop. Just that over and over again. The left hand for now is just doing a fourth, and then another fourth, a minor third higher. And then in this case, I'm just sliding up a half step. You could also play with fourths a whole step apart. And of course, you can play with just straight chromatic half steps. How I worked this up to tempo and got it to feel pretty comfortable is I just started without a metronome actually and just tried to get the feeling in my fingers. Then I added the metronome. Here's 55 BPM. One thing I'd recommend when you're working on the inside pairs of strings and getting this to happen, especially when you're at this phase and going this slowly, when you do that first slap, you want to make sure that your index finger is actually set up in the right place to do the pop. Because when you first start doing this, at least for me, what happened was I would get the slap, but my index finger would either be like out here or would bump the next string, or it just wouldn't be in the best place to get that happening. Now let's talk about the metronome for a second. It's easy enough if you can start really slowly at like 40 or 50 BPM, get it there, and then slowly just bump up the number. But what tends to happen when you're working things up to speed is as you increase the number, you're gonna hit sticking points along the way where you might get to like, 90 BPM or 100 BPM, and then things just start to get sloppy and you can't get faster than that. So here's a trick that I use to break through those plateaus and get to kind of the next level of tempo and get it feeling comfortable. So one thing you can do is take notes out. Here what I'm gonna do is take out the pop and just practice the down up slap. Another thing to consider is there's a big difference between doing something constantly, just going da 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 da, versus doing small bursts of it, just going like da 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 da, stuff like that. And realistically, that's probably closer to how you're going to use it in music most of the time anyway. I'm just gonna play for a beat and then stop on the next downbeat. Then here's two beats. Then start trying to use it in context, in grooves and pieces of songs. And if you're interested in busting through plateaus that have been holding you back and just making a big leap forward in general in your playing, I teach private lessons. I can help you do that. Send me a DM or use the contact form in my profile link and we'll get started.